things by looking at it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Then let's make full use of it here. Now, the reason why is C6H14 is very simple, huh? Very simple. On top, on bottom, immediately times 2, makes sense? For every C here, there is on top, on bottom, times 2 lah. And then 1 on the left, 1 on the right, times 2 plus 2. That is the original source of the general formula CnH2n plus 2. One more time. Why is it 2n? Because top, bottom. If there's 6 C's, then top, bottom times 2 lah. Plus 1 at the end, 1 at the other end, plus 2. Making sense so far?
Yeah.
Now, why is alkene CnH2n, so to speak? If it is 3, it is 6. If it is 4, it is 8. Now, this is actually, strictly speaking, not very true. This is strictly speaking not very true. Why? The proper logic is more like this. Once you have a double bond is formed by doing this. I take this out. There's a H here, right? I take out the H, I take out the H. I have two dangling hands. The two dangling hands close and become a double bond. So far, so good. In the process of, constructing one double bond from a single bond, you will always lose 2H. There is no other way about it. It's very easy to see, by the way. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Now, why do I say that CnH2n is strictly speaking not correct all the time? Because you can have more than one double bond. I hope your teacher have shown you that kind of example. Okay, so let me give you an example. For example, I have another double bond here. I have to take out one H here, and I have to take out one H here for the double bond to form. Am I making any sense? So this becomes C3H6 minus 2 lah, because every double bond that you have, you will minus 2 your H.
I think I'm pretty sure she said that there's no, like, it can only contain one carbon double bond.
Wait until you see the exam. Or rather, just look at the end of it. Just look at the end of it. You hear me out for a while. You just hear me out for a while. That's not true. Maybe you misunderstood. Maybe she's just trying to make it easy. But in exam, that's not true at all.
Okay.
It's just, they just freely put more than one double bond. In fact, in exam, this is what happened. They will combine alkene with alcohol. Let me show you. Since you're already in the topic, so might as well. So you see this as a double bond, right? So, hey, this guy must be alkene, right? Then you suddenly see an OH here. OH belongs to alcohol, correct or not? OH is the, the functional alcohol. Hey, so this guy is alkene or alcohol? Why are you mixing stuff? Well, it's just natural. It's just possible to do all that lah. There's no problem. You see alcohol and carboxylic acid in one thing also. That's just normal. 2 double bonds, 3 double bonds, 4 double bonds is normal. Alcohol double bond, carboxylic, it's just a normal thing. The family are not purist one. They kind of mix together. Okay?
Okay.
So now back to why I'm telling you all this, because I'm trying to give you an understanding. Every time a double bond is formed, you lose 2H. So if you want to make double bond into single bond, you add H2s lah. Just depend on how many double bond you have. You add 1 H2 or 2 H2. That just makes sense. That's my point right now. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going back to one double bond just to make life easy. Okay. So this plus H2 should make sense to you, and you shouldn't need to memorize it. Now, the question is, plus H2O from alkene to alcohol makes sense or not? Makes sense or memorize?
Kind of makes sense.
And don't say kind of. Makes sense or not? Why does it make sense? You tell me.
I get the O because it becomes OH.
The
The Oh wait, because the double bond breaks down, so it
Yeah.
adds more.
Correct. It'll break down, correct. And then what will it do? It will, of course, create two dangling hands, right? Okay. What shall be filled here? If you fill it with H and H, it becomes alkane, not alcohol. But if you fill it with OH and H, it'll become alcohol. You just need the OH. Make sense? And what does OH and H comes from? From H2O lah. Keeping it simple.
Okay.
Fair?
Okay.
This needs to make sense. If not, there are too many memorization flying around. Okay? In chemistry, as the fewer the memorization, the better, right? Okay, so plus H2O. So the third arrow going there is just plus Br2. Have your teacher talk about this reaction. This reaction has a very particular use.
Wait, what? Where?
Yeah, plus Br2 there. Okay, so alkene plus Br2. So again, it will affect the double bond. Same thing one. Alkene's weak point, if you want to call it a weak point, is always a double bond. Whatever reaction with alkene, it will affect the double bond. Kind of easy to memorize. Now you create something strange like this. If you add Br2, this will happen, and I'll tell you, very different from the other reaction. The other reaction, there's a clear point to it. I want to go from alkene to alkane. Can or not? Can. I want to go from alkene to alcohol. Can or not? Can. I want to go from alkene to carboxylic acid. Cannot. You have to go through alcohol first. Oh, that's the reaction map. This thing leads to nowhere. It creates something new. What's the point? The point is not the result. The point is the fact that Br2 is brown in color. And when it reacts with alkene, it no longer becomes brown. It is colorless. What's the point? This reaction does not happen with anybody else. Alkane cannot react with bromine. Okay, alcohol cannot, carboxyl. Nobody can react with bromine except for alkene. Again, let me confirm this is new to you.
Yeah.
Why is this popular? Because this is the reaction that allows you to identify alkenes. Only alkenes react with bromine. How do you know? The brown color disappears. What happens when you put alkane with bromine?
Wait, can you say it again?
One more time. What happens when alkene meets bromine? What happens?
Brown.
The brown color disappears. Make sense or not? The brown color, yeah. Basically, again, I want to say the brown color disappears. You see the brown color disappearing before your eyes. The brown is pronounced, now it's no more. Oh, that means that guy is an alkene because everybody here is colorless. Very difficult to identify them by visual. So you introduce bromine. What happens when the guy is alcohol, then you put bromine together with alcohol? What happens?
Wait, can you repeat?
One more time. When alkene meets bromine, the brown color disappears. So far, so good? Ken? So what happens when alcohol meets bromine?
Becomes brown.
It stays brown. Stays brown.
Yeah, it stays brown.
Which is the point of what happens when alkane meets bromine? It stays brown. What happens when carboxylic meets bromine? It stays brown. That's the point. This reaction is very useful to identify alkene because only alkene reacts with bromine, at least in O level. Not making any sense. That's the point of the reaction. Okay. Everybody else doesn't react with bromine. That's the point, and you need to know that.
So what happens when you add bromine to alcohol?
Nothing. It stays brown. Visually, the brown color just stay there. Nothing happens. It does not disappear, so to speak.
Okay.
Right? Now it works for everybody else like that. Everybody else, oh, it stays the same. Nothing happens. Okay. Okay. I'll add a few more things, then I'll ask you to redraw already. Actually, everybody is two-way. So there's the way going here, going here, going there, going there. Okay, so far so good. Everybody also have outward reaction and everybody have an inner reaction. Kind of easy to memorize the shape. That's the whole point. So that you know if you're missing something, you know, hey, I think I'm forgetting this guy, I'm forgetting that. Okay, now let me give you all the easy one stuff. Everybody go inside plus O2. This is called combustion, right? Everybody can be burned, basically like combustion, and everybody will produce CO2 plus H2O. Easy to memorize, I hope. Okay, now I'll show you the one outside the syllabus. This is not in syllabus, which is great, right? Not in syllabus. There you go. This one.
I can't see.
Correct or not?
The combustion part.
No, not the combustion part. The combustion is not done. There's no discussion. Plus O2 done.
Wait. I can't see what you just wrote. Is it not in?
I'm sorry, not in syllabus. I already move on to the other reaction, right? Now, why do I bother to mention it? Because your school does its own thing, integrated program, do your own end of year, no O-level, that kind of, right? I mean, I can tell you those reactions are easily discussed in year 5 and year 6 if you're taking chem. And of course, your teacher knows that. The teacher knows that it's not in the syllabus, blah, blah, blah. But how much can they resist not putting it in exam? You get what I mean? Right? So it's so easy to understand this thing which is not in syllabus. Your choice to memorize it or not. Just minus H2O. Correct or not? It's not that difficult, right? Now, for the alcohol to carboxylic, now, please draw for me carboxylic acid 3C. Okay, it's the most complicated one. So let me see it.
Standard one.
Standard one. Okay, that's 2C. Give me 3Cs. Nice, see, and I can see that all your hands are well done. They're all four-handed. You don't have to draw the H, right? You don't have. Okay, just leave it blank. But to say properly, this H needs to be written because only the H connected to C can be not drawn. I hope that makes some sense. Okay, so now how to go from alcohol to carboxylic acid? The simple thing is oxidation. This can make some sense. In syllabus, there is no real reaction given to you. Oxidation is a concept, and I hope it makes sense because, hey, I see two oxygen here. There's only one. Hey, of course it's oxidation. I mean, I hope that makes some sense. So the arrow going back is reduction. I mean, how easy is that, right? Okay, this is to, in case you, so that you're not shocked if your teacher decide to do this lah, because I don't think your teacher will talk about it much. Now, regarding oxidation, you don't have to write down the real reaction. All the other reaction, you have to write down the reaction to its fullest detail. The oxidation one, no need, right? So instead, they will just ask you, how do you oxidize? There are two ways to do it. You use, you call it, what do you call it? By air, okay, which is natural way, or by using KMnO4, which is an oxidizing agent. Okay, but again, no real reaction is required from you. You just need to know from alcohol to carboxylic acid, you do oxidation.
Okay.
Make sense so far? Okay. Now there are a few things that is not here yet. This is not yet. This is not yet. This is not yet. This is not yet. Yeah, I think there's one more also. Can you you take your time, at most 3 minutes, clear this, and you redraw it. Will that be okay? We're starting our memorization right now.
Like including the BR2.
Yeah, including that. Including that. That one's in already. I'm going to start correcting. If you know what's the mistake, you correct it. I'm going to indicate using a different color. When you correct, you also correct using a different color. Then you know, oh, I made a mistake here in that sense. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, do not erase things. Instead, make your correction clear by using a different color. Okay. Again, tell me when you 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 cannot do anything else, right? If you're still thinking, then please continue.
Mm,
Again, when you're done, please tell me. Okay, good, good.
oh, wait. Wait, do I add the combustion thing?
Oh, please. Yes. I can tell you that all the reactions here are popular and it happens in exam one. Now, why using green? Sorry, I haven't corrected anything. If you remember this, uh, don't need
Oh,
to use green, right? Okay. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. If you're not forgetting it, it's not wrong. Okay. Good job for remembering it. And yes, it will be an exam. All right. Is there anything else? Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, okay, sure. You do put it in alcohol, but my point is everybody reacts the same way with alcohol. Like nobody can react. Okay, good.
yeah, that's it.
So you do forget something. Okay, try your best to remember. I'll show you. So there are two things here, right? You remember? Also, the arrow here is not clear. So which one? Right?
Oh,
Okay, good. Very good. If nothing, then oxidation by air and KMNO4. Okay. For KMNO4, is this the first time you hear KMNO4?
yeah.
You might have heard about this as an oxidizing agent in the redox chapter. Ring any bell?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Treat this as memorization for now. Okay. Treat this as memorization.
Wait,
Okay.
I don't
Now,
get the red things here.
oh, that's air. So oxidation by air, meaning if you leave it open in air, it will oxidize slowly from alcohol to carboxylic acid. And I guess they do ask you to understand that. What does that mean? Let me show you. So the first arrow here, I'll add up. Okay, this is some sugar. The sugar is CH12O6. You will know this from bio. Would that be okay? No need structure. So rarely in OChem, they ask you to, oh, no need to memorize this structure. For most things that you study, you need to know their structural formula. But sugar, C6H12O6, no need the structure, just the chemical formula. So far, so good? Okay, so how do you do that? A bit of bio, okay, but you need to know fermentation by yeast. That's one way to do it. Okay?
Okay.
Easy, yeah? And again, for most thing in chemistry, they ask for reaction. This one also no reaction required.
Which one?
The fermentation one. They don't ask you for the reaction one. The oxidation also no reaction. Only these two no reaction required. The rest you need to know the reaction. Okay?
Okay.
Any questions? Yeah. Okay, good. Now, carboxylic acid is very easy. It's acid plus alkali, alkali, right? Plus alkali. Okay, give me an example of alkali. Give me an example of alkali.
Sodium hydroxide.
Which is exactly what I want to write. So good for you. Sodium hydroxide. Okay. Now, have you learned what makes carboxylic acid acidic so that you can predict its reaction with NaOH? This guy contains acid, right? And acid, you may have learned, means that that guy contains H+. Now, where would that be? Any idea?
Wait, can you repeat?
Okay, one more time. Carboxylic acid, like any other acid, right? Give me an example of another acid. I know I'm hitting your weakness, but you gotta give me some acid. Certainly, you know.
Oh, hydrochloric acid.
Right, which is fine. Totally correct. HCl, I write down the chemical formula for you. Okay, HCl contains H+, meaning, you know, inside in water, he will become H plus and Cl minus, and this H plus is why HCl is acidic. Okay. If this feels new, then take it as very important. If this feels old, you already know this, then apply this in carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid works exactly the same thing. He must release H+. If not, he does not. He is not an acid, right? He is not acidic. So where is the H+ that this carboxylic acid will release? This guy. Okay. There's a reason why the functional group of carboxylic acid is COOH, because the H here can and will detach itself as H+ inside water. Will this be okay?
Yeah.
As a result, this is H+, and this is O-. No? I hope that makes some sense.
Wait, I don't see that.
Yeah, that happens when you don't write, when you do not write quite some time. Right.
Okay.
Right. So the H+ is here and the O- is there. Okay. Would that be okay? If not, just look at my screen sharing. We cannot afford this. Okay. Okay. Ken, yes or no, Ria?
Yeah.
Okay, this tells you how it will react with NaOH. The H plus, and this is Na plus, H minus I. This will be the reaction between carboxylic acid and this alkali NaOH. Am I making any sense? As a result, you need to be able to write down the result lah. The result will look like this. ONA, right? Plus H2O, of course. Just to make it. This is the salt. This is supposed to be old knowledge from acid and base applied here.
Okay.
Does this make any sense? Will this be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't covered 3 more. So this guy not yet. What is this? You should know this as substitution. If you already know, then let what your teacher talk about. This is cracking. I want to talk about cracking today. Cracking. We're running out of time here. Cracking is just want to make sure that you understand cracking. And there is one more here called esterification. So you're missing 3 more. I left all the difficult one at the end, right? And then the reaction map becomes complete. This is all the reaction you need to master OChem. Yeah. I'm going to start with cracking. Have your teacher talk about cracking?
No.
Okay, go to the next page. Now, give me a long alkane, because cracking is supposed to go from alkane to alkene. So give me a long alkane, like how many C? You tell me a number.
4,
That's not long at all.
8.
Okay, I draw an 8 here. Now, cracking, the process of cracking is very simple. There's a certain temperature. Memorize that. You don't know. Your teacher will give you certain temperature, certain pressure, certain catalyst, standard stuff to memorize for an important reaction. Hey, what kind of temperature, what kind of pressure, and what kind of catalyst? Now, I don't care about those 3 things. Your teacher will give you definitely one. What I care is to explain how cracking works. Cracking works randomly. For example, in this temperature, in this pressure, and in this catalyst, this long chain of alkane will suddenly crack here randomly. Let me repeat this. This is a random position to crack it. What will happen? This will be C6 and this will be C2. From the original C8, how many H? Tell me. Times 2 plus 1 on the left, 1 on the right. So
20. 18.
Good. Okay. Now, what happens to the C6? There are 3 random possibilities. So many randomness here. Okay. 3 random options. First, you will be C6, H something, and H something. Okay. Now, I'm going to make a first guess. Okay. So what will this be? This will be C6H what? And C2H what? You tell me again.
C6H14.
Okay. Then the other guy?
C2H6.
Right. Sorry about that. I think connection is bad. Right. Now, please write down your guesses. Please write down your guesses quickly. Hey, Jason. Oh, Jason. Now I see you. Jason, when did you come in?
7:28.
Just now. All right. Okay. Sorry. Did you forget or did you plan to do it at night?
Forgot.
Okay. Are you okay? Just a bit worried that you might be sick.
Yeah.
Then wait for a little bit. I'll be finishing soon. All right.
Okay.
Okay, again, Ria, are you writing down H? Yeah, H14 and H6. Okay, now 14 plus 6 is 20. Now, does that make sense?
Oh.
Okay.
No.
Okay. If it doesn't make sense to you, make some corrections. All right, so this will be 12 and this will be 6. Okay, for a total of 10, right? So I'll just say that the 14 and 6 doesn't make sense. Yeah. Now, your first option turns out to be this is alkene. There you go. There's your alkene, but this is still alkane. I hope you don't memorize this. I hope this makes sense. Is it true or not? C6H12 will be an alkene. There will be one double bond.
Yeah.
But C2H6 is not alkene. It is alkane. Would that be okay?
Wait, it's alkene because of the structural formula. I mean the chemical formula.
I mean, C6H12, you can immediately say that guy is not alkane. Because for it to be alkane, it needs to be
But there's
C6H14.
no, so it's okay if there's no like
There's
double bond for C2.
oh no, it's okay. It happens that way. It happens that way. Let me show you the other two options and then we have to end. Yeah? The other two option, which is again randomly chosen, this will be your C6H14, which is now an alkane, right?
C2H.
But C2H4, which be now your alkene. And this randomly happens. That's what you know in O level. Understand? It can be the first option. It can be the second option. Still, in total, H18. I'll give you the last option. C6H12, which is an alkene, right? C2H4, which is also an alkene. And then plus H2, also possible. 3 random options.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Okay. The question will test you whether you actually understand what's going on here. Let me summarize one more time and then we'll call it a day. Okay, cracking will ask you to memorize temperature, pressure, and catalyst. You go and memorize it yourself. My concern is, do you understand? Cracking it here happens randomly. It can actually crack here, it can actually crack here, it can actually crack here. Any sense?
Yeah.
For one position to crack, you have 3 random options usually. Like this, and like that. And it's just best not to memorize this. It is best to understand this. I take 1 page to explain. Okay? We'll continue next week. Hopefully, there is more clarity on the topics and everything else. Okay? I'll see you by then. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Garrett. Okay, Jason. Okay, Jason. All right. Okay, first thing first, Jason, I'm gonna ask something very weird, okay?
Yeah.
Supposedly last Thursday, I told you, let's stop it. You're very tired, man. Let's just move it to the Sunday lah. Okay? Correct? Remember that?
Yeah, I think I forgot.
Yeah. That's what I want to clarify. Because I was actually also very tired on that Sunday until I cannot remember. Did I actually meet with Jason or not? So to confirm, Sunday didn't happen yet. Sunday
Yeah.
didn't happen. I'm gonna correct that first. Then I'll just ask more during holiday tuition. Now, having said that, my first time seeing you very tired lah last Thursday.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened? Are you sick? What something? What is it? What is it?
Probably just school, to be honest. Yeah.
Usually people get more relaxed after exam. So what is happening in school?
PE maybe.
Is Thursday a good day or not? Shall we move Thursday? Shall we move to some other day?
Don't really know.
Mm, should we avoid the PE day?
It's because it's different for odd weeks and even week.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So today is not a PE day lah, is what you're saying.
Today is a PE day. Friday is also PE.
Hmm. Okay, put it this way, yeah. I mean, holiday is coming, so there is no school lah. So good lah, right?
Uh-huh.
After holiday, when we are preparing for end of year, right? Because your result is not, you're still not happy with your result, ma. Correct or not?
Yeah.
So there is some other work to be done. After holiday, if you encounter Thursday being tired, I will actually ask to be moved lah, right?
Alright.
Okay. If you do not know where to move it, you move it to Sunday. Sunday is just the best day. I hope that makes some sense.
Uh-huh.
Okay, unless you have a family event, but then again, until you achieve a result that you are happy with, it makes sense to to improve your tuition a bit in the sense of let's avoid certain days. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. Now today are you tired? Are you tired today?
Kind of. I had to walk in the rain because I didn't bring an
Aduh.
umbrella.
Mm, 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 mm. Will you get sick? Will you get sick?
That I don't know. I'm
Now,
a bit more sleepy after walking in the rain and taking a shower.
sorry, what did you say? You're mostly what? Sorry.
I'm getting more sleepy than usual after
Yeah,
in the rain.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Just tell me your holiday plans. What's your trip plan? Are you going anywhere? What's going on?
Uh Probably in the middle of June I'll go back to Indonesia. Uh
Mhm.
and after that, I mean before that, I would have CCA practice. Uh
Uh-huh. How does that work? How does that work?
so you just have to go back to school
When you
during
say
the holiday.
CCA practice, that is what's your CCA? Sorry, I kind of forget.
Band.
Ah, that-
I have
yeah.
to like practice for SYF and
Correct, correct.
National Day Parade.
When is SYF and National Day Parade?
Uh, August is National Day.
Correct. For National
Uh,
Day, August, and then SYF,
SYF 21 July.
21. Oh,
If I'm
oh,
not
oh.
wrong, it's
So
April 1st or 21 July.
you're saying that it's before National Day.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I
We'll,
don't
mhm.
think we've like practiced enough for it.
So you're saying that holiday practice, and then after holiday will intensify. That's what you're saying.
First week of holiday, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be Wednesday and Friday, and then a week before school, I'll have another two practice, Wednesday and Friday again.
First week, Wednesday, Friday. Last week, Wednesday, Friday. Let me confirm your holiday starts when? Is it like 27 May or 3rd June? When are you having holiday? 1 week from now or 2 weeks from now?
Uh, uh, the week after next week. Yeah.
The week after, as in next week is the last week of school.
Yeah, there's just no
Okay,
lessons.
okay, okay. So, uh, So after next week is holiday. So 27 May start. Now,
Ah.
you say that your first week you must be here for band practice. You say last week must be here for band practice. I understand.
Yeah, I'll be like quite busy to be honest.
Besides CCA, what's going on?
So there's gonna be like quite a lot of homework holiday.
You're not just talking about math, right? You have
Yeah,
other
there's like
homeworks.
more.
Right, right,
There's
right.
English, science, math, uh, and others.
Besides math, which the result is you're not you don't like the result so far,
Mm-hmm.
is there any other subject which you find to be disappointing?
Maybe a bit of English.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, that's it, I guess. English, maybe, I guess history.
Mm-hmm. Your
Uh,
science, you're happy with it?
yeah, not, it's been good.
Good, good to know. Okay. Now, if your first week and last week, you must be here for band practice and you'll be busy doing holiday, blah, 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 doing homework. Now, when exactly is your trip to Indonesia? Is it going to be for 1 week? Is it going to be for 2 weeks? You know,
One
that kind
week.
of thing? 1 week. So what is it? Second week? Third week?
Uh,
Does it depend on
Probably
your
around
brother?
like 17
17.
or
Okay.
9, 9th June.
9 June. Oh, okay. That's a Sunday lah, or 7. But 17 June is the last week of holiday. You know it? That is where you're supposed to be here for band practice on Wednesday and Friday. Correct or
Yeah,
not?
that's what I told my parents, and they said they'll just do 9th. They booked it at 9th until 15, I think.
That makes sense. So you and your brother will be traveling also lah, because your brother seems to be quite busy also during holiday.
Yeah, I don't think my
Mhm.
brother, my brother may or may not come because
Okay.
he said he's gonna be like, you know, more busy because, and it was like next week.
Wait, what? How does that
I don't
work?
know, next week.
You're
That's next year. He wants to more like study more.
correct, correct. I mean, yeah, but how does that work? Your mom goes, your father goes, you go, your brother stay at home. Huh?
If my, I mean, my brother can survive on his own,
He
but
hopefully.
I don't think, I think he's gonna come most likely.
Yeah, I mean, he needs some break also lah. Okay, so let's say very likely your trip to Indonesia will be on the third week of holiday lah, correct? Something like that. 9 June, 9 to 15, trip to Indonesia. Now, very important question for your trip. Will your trip be relaxing, enjoyable, fun, that kind of trip? Or will it be so busy, must visit this, must go there, must do that kind of thing? Which one?
Probably,
Based on past
probably
experience?
fun and enjoyable.
Fun, enjoyable, you can relax lah, you can have a
Yeah.
holiday lah, right? Be good. Hopefully it's a fun one. Good to know. Good to hear. I've heard other trips where you're spent because you have to just meet everybody every day. I mean, some people like that one. Some people don't like it. Good for you. Let me think of today. Okay, simple question. Do you already have your math holiday homework?
Yeah. I'm
Could you
almost
show
done
it
with
to
it.
me? Oh, you're almost done with it?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? If you can think properly today. If not, I don't want. If you can, let's just finish your holiday homework. If it is too easy, then good for you lah. No need lah. But let's talk about the difficult questions if you want to. What do you think?
Oh no,
Okay.
it is actually easier than expected.
And easy doesn't help. Nonsense.
It's like it's just like ratio, speed, rate.
Okay. Look, last time we talked about it, your speed is a bit confused, the ratio a bit difficult. So why is this homework easy?
We went through it like quite a bit.
You mean in school? You mean in school?
Yeah.
Okay. Understand. All right. Do I talk about exam with you? Do I talk about ratio with you? Yeah, I don't feel like scolding you today. I don't know why. If we talk about the exam, I will end up scolding you one definitely. So I don't want to scold you right now. Holiday homework, no problem. Oh yeah. One more question. Right. So let's say you'll be a busy guy on term 3, right? With the CCA and everything. That's the commitment lah. If you join band, that is what will happen, right?
Yeah.
That's just how it is, right? I understand that now. Will there be any exam on term 3 before the end of year?
Yeah, there should be a one more exam. WA3.
WA3, but no schedules, no nothing yet lah.
No, not yet.
Mm.
Quite still really early.
You know what? I'll discuss something new to you, with you. I think that's the best thing. Before that, your science holiday homework. Do you have it? Any problem?
No, science, I don't have much of a problem.
All right, then let's talk about something new. So I can assume that your speed, ratio, and that topic for now, it's okay lah. For now.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll move on to there's only one, two, maybe two. Wait, there are only two. There are only two topics that will give you trouble in term 3 and term 4. If we cover it right now, at least you know what's going on. And then when you're busy in term 3, don't know how much CCA will demand of you.
Yeah.
It can be very tiring. It can be. So when that happens, hopefully you're more stable. That's my simple goal. I'm trying to stabilize your term 3 right now because it seems like it's going to be a very busy term. Right? So that you don't get shocked, you don't get confused, and then after that busy period, you can concentrate on the end of year, right? If you somehow are unstable during term 3 because of the busyness, it can affect your other subjects also, right? Then it will be harder to go for end of year, right? That's a goal. Okay, you go for Jamboard today. I'll explain to you the first topic. They'll add in prisms, okay, whatever that means in your term 3 or term 4, depending on your teacher, right? Now, they will talk about volume and they will talk about surface area. Let me confirm this with you. The volume of this guy, do you know or not? Is
No.
this new? All right. Then volume and surface area will be new to you, but sorry.
Volume I already learned about for cuboid.
Cube. Yep. Okay, cuboids. Okay, we start cuboids
Cube,
already.
square,
Cubes, and
think triangle?
but triangles don't have volume. Triangles volume. When you say, okay, here's a triangle, how can a triangle have volume? Maybe what you mean is something like this. Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
That's called a triangular prism. Okay, and I'm gonna explain what prism means. Okay, gonna explain that. Okay, so but this guy, the shape, at least the shape is not new. You tell me what the shape, what is
It's
the
a
form of
cylinder.
center? Okay, good. So the guy below is a triangular prism, and strangely speaking, both of them are prisms. Now, which is what we're trying to understand here. Let's not memorize, because when you understand, your volume and your surface area becomes very easy. That's the point. When you don't understand, things become very difficult. Now, here's a cylinder, and you will not object if I call this the height of the cylinder, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If if it's the same cylinder, but I put it, laying on the floor, looks like this now. Now tell me, what's the height of the cylinder?
It's the circle.
Okay.
Wait.
Mhm. This is the most confusing part sometimes. Hopefully we can settle this. Is this the height of the cylinder? Like, obviously it is from down there to up there. That's how we say the word height. I totally agree with you, right? But if the same cylinder and I lay it down, does it make sense to say, yes, the height changes, right?
No.
It's now this guy, or we still insist on calling this the height, even though it no longer looks like the height line?
Yeah.
Okay, which one? Okay, number 1, number 2.
2.
Okay, and at this point, I would say I agree with you,
Mm.
even though it feels very weird. Now let's test it to the triangle guy. Okay, triangular prism. You should have no objection with me calling this height line.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I lay it down, the same exact process, which one is height?
The longer line.
Okay. Now I'm going to test your logic here. Whatever logic you have, I'm going to test it. Why not we do it the other way around? Why not we say this is height? Why not? That's height.
Uh-huh.
And then I put it standing up, and now I call this height lah, the same thing. Why don't I do that? Should I do that? Can I do that? Is this confusing? Is this useless? What's going on here? Get what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Now, suddenly the height is not very clear. Did that make sense? And
Yeah.
I can guarantee you, questions will definitely put the prism laying on its back. Question will actually like to put the prism like this 50% of the time. And suddenly the question of height becomes uncertain. Now, here's the secret about prism. I'll tell you the secret now. The secret about prism is not the height. The secret of prism is what you call the cross-sectional area. It's a very fancy term. Okay? Okay, cross-sectional area. They also don't use this term. they use the term base area. Base area is also a very dangerous term. I'll show you later why. But I'll use I think the better term, cross-sectional area. Now, the word cross-sectional area is so fancy. It's a very easy thing. Okay, this is a very visual topic. You're a very visual person. The thing about cross-sectional area is that the area stays the same throughout. A cylinder is a prism because a prism has an area which is the same throughout.
Oh.
Okay. Now, if I lay the cylinder down, I still have an area which is the same throughout. The area doesn't suddenly change to be this one because this one is not the same throughout. Don't be fooled. One more time.
Yep.
A prism always have an area which is the same throughout, such that if you slice it here, you will see the arms also. If you slice it there, you'll see the same. Now, the triangular prism is called triangular for a very simple reason. The area which is the same throughout is which one? The area which is the same throughout is the
triangle.
Triangle throughout. Here, lay down triangle throughout.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, why is the cross-sectional area the important thing? Because once you see, you got to see it. There's no other explanation here. Once you see that, oh, it's the cross-sectional of this guy, oh, it's a circle, or this one is a triangle, then the volume looks like this. Huh? The volume is that particular area, the cross-sectional area, times whatever you want to call it, the height. Some people call it the length. What is important is that if the area is this one, then the length is, that one is obvious. If the cross-sectional is this one, then the length of the height is that one. It's very obvious once you see the area. Okay. Now you don't say something like this, that, hey, the cross-sectional area is triangle, right? Triangle throughout. Hey, triangle also have height, so I'll use the height of the triangle. That's nonsense, already. That's wrong. You don't say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let me give you a very weird shape. A very weird shape can become, well, for example, half circle. Half circle. That is a half circle. They call it a semicircle, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I draw this. Okay? Something like that. Is this a prism or not, Jason?
Yeah.
Because?
It has the same volume throughout.
No, don't say the same, but no. The same cross-sectional area
Cross-section area.
Now you're going to shade for us which is the cross-sectional area that you're talking about.
Here.
All right, which automatically means you're correct, by the way. It is the same throughout, right? You're correct. Visually, you can see that. You're an artist, you're an art person. You should be able to see this very clearly, which means you're dealing with a semicircle, a half circle. First thing first. Okay. Secondly, you immediately know how to calculate the volume. What is the volume? What is the volume? The volume is that cross-sectional area times whatever you call this. You can call this length. You can call this height. Do you understand what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Identifying the cross-section means you know the length of the height automatically in that sense.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And that is the most important thing for a prism. Okay. Now, draw a random area, please. Draw a random shape for me. Okay, you're an artist and you decide to draw for me an octagon, right?
Yeah.
Octagon. Now, can I make an octagon into a prism?
Yeah, I'm guessing so.
Draw, then you're the artist, right? Draw the prism of this octagon.
Okay.
Something like that. Okay, sure. Okay. Now, The real question is in math is what is the volume of this prism?
The volume of the prism.
Yeah. Yeah. You need two things, right? This times that. So what is it?
Cross section.
Okay, this guy, don't know what, but that thing lah. That thing
Yeah.
times
Times the length.
which is which one? That one. And therefore your volume will be correct.
Mm.
Okay. First thing first about prism. That's how it works. Okay.
Uh-huh.
From this onward, you shall not be afraid of any prism at all.
Yeah.
So we clear this one first. I'll tell you the second thing about prism, and then at the very least, you already know. The
Yep.
second thing about prism will have to do with the surface area. Now, very surprisingly, calculating volume will be easier than the surface area. Always true. Even the marks will be different, and the marks for volume is slightly smaller than the surface area. You may find this totally making sense. You may find this extremely weird. But I can tell you, once you do it, you see why surface area is harder than the volume. Okay, even though it doesn't sound like that.
Mm-hmm.
That I promise you, surface area is always harder than volume. You will see for yourself. Now, I'll tell you something about surface area. Okay, the surface area will always consist of. Sorry. Before we talk about it, do you understand what surface area means?
Surface, like the outside.
The outside. Okay,
Yeah.
assuming everything is solid, is something that you paint. Make sense? The solid thing you paint. Okay, that's the surface area, lah, right? So the outside area. So let's pretend that everything here is solid, easy stuff. Now, for every prism, the surface area is always something like this. It's always something like this. There will always be two cross section, correct? One cross section at the each end, lah. That's always true one.
Yep.
If it is a circular prism, you have two circles at both ends. If it's an octagon prism, then you have two octagons at both ends, triangles at both ends, two semicircles at both ends. Those are included in the surface area.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So once you know the cross-sectional area, it affects the volume and it also affects the surface area calculation. So very useful. Cross-sectional area is just useful. So far, so good?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Your teacher may choose to introduce an base area, which is extremely not recommended because a cylinder can lay down and suddenly this doesn't look like a base anymore.
Yeah.
When you lay down this triangle, you may end up calculating the base area of this guy, which is a rectangle, which is fully misleading. Fully misleading is a very bad way of teaching. Understand?
Yeah.
If your teacher chooses to use base area, I will immediately override it into cross-sectional area and just emphasize on you how to see it, because maybe your teacher will teach it, maybe not. We'll see. Okay. Now, back to surface area. Surface area also need cross-sectional area. That's my point. I don't want you to make the mistake in identifying the cross-sectional area. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. So every prism has two cross-sectional area for the surface. Plus, I would like to call the blanket. Now I'll teach you to see the blanket. So again, for a cylinder, you have the two cross-sectional at the end, there, 1 and 2. That's it lah, finish lah, easy. And then the blanket. The blanket is this one. That's the blanket. We'll call this the blanket area. Now, believe me, the triangle also a blanket. That's my point. Now look at the triangular prism. I have one cross-sectional area at this end, the other one at that end. See, I have two cross-sectional area in both ends. So far, so good?
Yep.
And then I have what we call the blanket. There you go. The blanket. There. The blanket. Okay, the blanket wraps around like that.
Yep.
Okay. This octagon will have the blanket wrap around. Right? This half circle prism, half cylinder, if you like, will have the cross-sectional area at both ends and the blanket wrap around. See what I mean? To construct a prism is so simple. Have two cross-sectional area on top or the bottom, whatever, at both ends, and just wrap the blanket according to the shape. Okay, that's the blanket. Now I'll teach you the trick to blanket. Because if not, the cross-sectional area, the surface area calculation takes too long. The blanket calculation is extremely simple if you know this. You just have to find the perimeter of the cross-section. Just find the perimeter times this length or height, you will automatically have the blanket area. At this point, I would like to pause. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's see whether it applies to the octagon. What do? Find the, what do you want? Find the perimeter.
Yep.
Perimeter times this length or height, whatever, and you have the blanket area done. In short, I'm saying, please don't see the blanket area as 8 rectangles. It's a waste of time. It's really a waste of time. Look at the triangular prism. People will choose to see the blanket as 3 rectangles wrapping around the prism. Correct? Wrong or
Yeah.
wrong? Correct, wrong. It's not wrong, but don't do that. It's a waste of time. Do the perimeter of the rectangle times the length or height, whatever you call it. You had the blanket already done, finished. Same thing with the semicircle. People will opt to see this as, oh, one rectangle and one curved surface. Waste of time. Really waste of time. Just find the perimeter like this and like that, and then times the length. Done. Blanket area finished. There, I teach you volume and I teach you surface area. That's the basics. Okay. The question will vary somewhat, but that's the basics. These two basics, hold it clearly. It will be useful until Sec 4.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Now, you have not seen this topic before. I'm teaching you this because, well, there's a lot of confusion. So I clarify it right now. I understand you're an art student, so I do expect more from you. I expect that you'll be able to see things better. That's another one. Thirdly, this contains a lot of marks. At the very least, 8 marks. At the very least. 8 marks is very big, if you notice that, right? It's like more than 2 algebra questions. So I just want to get it. Just want you to get it right. If you're having a bad time in exam, this might be one of the reasons. I don't want you to have a bad time here because it's not that difficult, if you think about it. Okay, now let's go to the Google Drive. Let's check out some exam and you'll see for yourself. It's so easy to spot this question. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, SA1 wouldn't contain this. Suppose I go to SA2, Gan Eng Seng. Now you tell me when you see that topic. It's gonna be very obvious. Oh, that's the answer. Ignore that. Okay, paper 2. Do you know that your end of year will be paper 1, paper 2?
Yeah.
All right. So here's a paper 2. Once you see it, please tell me. Oh my goodness, this guy don't have. Okay, that's very unlikely. Yeah, let me check. Yeah, very weird. This guy don't have. No, it's very weird. It's very weird. I'm gonna ignore that.
I found one.
Where is it? Oh, there you go. Okay, just gonna screenshot this. As promised, how many marks is that?
It is 2 marks, paper 1.
From where?
North Vista, Sec 1, SA2.
2 marks. 2 marks. Paper 1. That's very weird. What I found, you can put it there. You can put it there. What I found is an 8-mark question. I mean, as promised, right? You put down yours. I put down mine. You're right. Okay, let's talk about this one first. That's a simple 2-mark question because it's a paper 1.
Yeah.
Calculate the volume of the prism. Well, would you look at that? Now, which one is the cross-sectional area?
It is the triangle.
And then the volume is just the triangle area times which guy?
Times 20
meter.
meters.
And you'll be correct. Now I'll give you 2 more marks. I'll pretend there are now 2 more marks. You calculate the surface area. Okay, so you calculate both.
Surface area.
Okay, another 2 marks. Very easy question, right? Same drawing. Just ask you, hey, volume, hey, surface area. Takes no effort from the.
Should be
You go and calculate stuff, right? Go and calculate.
9.6 times
Write down.
6 times 20.
Write down, please. And
192 meters.
what's the unit for volume? Think about it.
You
Your unit is a bit weak, so you gotta think more.
volume.
I mean, meter. What's the unit for who? Meter is the unit for who? If that makes sense. Meter is the unit for when you call meter, you are talking about your height. Oh, that's meter cube. Okay, sorry. Okay, I didn't hear your meter cube, so I know that you have a meter cube. Now, how did you get your 9.6? I just want to confirm.
Add all the sides from the triangle.
Yeah, as in how? Tell me how.
3 plus 3 plus 3.6.
3 plus 3 plus 3.6. Now, be very careful, yeah? What you did just now was the perimeter. That's not the cross-sectional area.
Oh.
Okay, you are correct to say that that's a perimeter, but if that's what you want, that's the perimeter of the triangle. You're an artist, you can imagine that, the perimeter of the triangle.
Yeah.
Right? Which is a meter, it's also a meter. This will give you square, correct?
Yeah.
Why is that wrong for volume? Because volume is not the perimeter. Volume is the cross-sectional area, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But perimeter times 20 meter is something useful. Who is this? This is what you call the blanket area. So you did actually find the blanket area, so you don't erase it. But for volume, you're totally wrong. Try again. Are you confused, Jason? Right. Okay, all right, all right. Doing something. Oh, now I'm very concerned. Yeah. Now, we're talking about the area of the triangle. It is something you already learned from primary 4. Now, you identify the cross-sectional area correctly. So it is a proof that you're visually good. But the area of triangle, keeping it simple, you still have to use math. Isn't it half times base times height? The base and the height must be perpendicular to each other. Isn't it like that one? Like, isn't the area of triangle half times base times height? If this doesn't make sense, please tell me, right? Jason, are you okay? Jason, are you there?
Yeah, hello. I
Right.
had
Can you hear
my
me?
yeah.
Okay. Right. The area of triangle, half times base times height, they must be perpendicular to each other.
Uh-huh.
So in short, the area is not 2.4, the area is not 9.6. The area is of triangle is half times the
Half
base
times base times height.
3.6 times the height is 2.4 lah.
Yeah.
Okay, this will be a certain number. Now, let me confirm, is this new or not?
No.
Now, is it like you're just forgetting?
Yeah.
Right. Does the 3 meter, does the 3 meter matter in the area of the triangle?
No.
All right. So just to be clear, like you're right. That one doesn't matter. So what's the area? And then continue with the volume, please.
Hello?
Yes, Kirby, I can hear you. Yeah. Kirby, we don't have much time left, right? So let's update
Yeah,
a few things first, right? Hey, this is your first week of school. I think tomorrow is your last day, right? Then you'll be going back, right?
yeah.
Good for you. Um, well, how's school? How is school and how are you? Please tell me.
Uh, I'm okay.
Uh,
School
Right.
is good, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nothing else?
I don't know. What's the sad
Um,
to say?
yeah, let's see. Yeah. What do you think after 1 week? Is it really better than ACS? Think about
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Okay, good to know. I was expecting it to be very too engaging, but also very tiring lah. What
yeah.
do you think? Is it tiring? Okay. Now,
Kind of, yeah.
you can you can can you tell can you do you understand why it is tiring for you?
Uh, yeah. I mean, like, the hours are longer, and
Definitely, that's one, right?
yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Anything else do you think that will, cause you to feel tired?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know. It's not that tiring. It's less tiring than soccer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was, well, are you tired at this hour and this moment, the supposed tuition time,
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's expected, right? Now think about it this way. In this week, you only managed to do one tuition, which on the first day, lah, right?
Yeah.
Expected, lor, expected. And then the unit test next week, let's start the tuition on Sunday to give it a try. Remember,
Sunday,
you're gonna
but what time? Like, I don't know. It's different on Sundays.
Yeah.
Like routine.
Yeah, we need to talk about this already. So first thing first, the 7 to 8:30, is it like, should we change that permanently, or that's for normal days first lah?
Uh, huh? What do you mean?
Okay, like for example, you say, hey, today you want to do 7 to 8:30, right? Okay, so
Yeah,
8:30 is almost there lah. On
yeah,
Monday, you also say that, hey, can we end at 8:30 or not? You don't want to miss anything, right? So
yeah.
my question is, should that be a permanent thing, or this is just a temporary thing?
I think it would definitely be better,
Definitely what? Sorry,
if possible.
if possible.
I think it would be better. Like, I think if possible, can we like change the time?
Okay, so 7 to 8:30, right? That's just better than 7:30 to 9,
Yeah,
right? Okay, a few complication on my side, but I'm trying to understand your situation first, right? Can you do the surface area, Jason?
Surface area. Okay.
Okay. Um, can you do it on 6 to 7:30? Just checking first.
6?
Kirby.
I
Yeah,
can't.
6 because of dinner, I guess.
No, yeah.
Okay, dinner ends when?
Around 7.
I understand. So it is 6 to 7 lah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's a bit complicated, but lucky or not lah. So again, why is it definitely 7 to 8:30? Like what's happening after 8:30 actually? You should know already lah. What is going on?
8:30.
What is going on after that?
We gotta turn off phones.
So it is
Devices,
confirmed
yeah.
8:30 turn off one. Confirm.
It's around 9 actually, but like, yeah,
Do you have to turn off your laptop?
yeah,
Really?
everything.
So that means you cannot even do any schoolwork after 9.
I mean, you can do worksheets, like,
See what you mean.
but I don't
Yeah, I
have
get
any books yet, so I can't really do anything.
Any idea when you'll get your books?
I don't think I'm getting any books until like next year. I mean,
That's crazy.
until the school starts again.
Which is
After the
after the
holiday.
2 week holiday, the 2 weeks holiday.
I don't know, after August. I mean, at August, yeah.
That's just so weird. Jason, can I confirm that you're a bit stuck? Jason.
Yep.
Go to the next question first. You read the question. It's just so more complicated, but give it a try. Okay. There'll always be volume and surface area. So let's see how you deal
What?
with the volume.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay, Kirby.
Someone opened my door.
No, it's
Sorry.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Then talk about Sunday lah, right? So for now, for every week, if you're doing tuition on a weekday, it will be on 7 to 8:30. We'll see what happens lah. Okay, I need to do my own adjustment. Okay, I understand. Okay, we'll just do it there first. Now, on Sunday though, I think Sunday is more ideal than other days. I still think that way, but we just have to give it a try lah. That's why I say, hey, this Sunday you must, okay, give it a try. You must try first lah. Okay, because it's likely for the second week you'll still be a bit tired. So on the weekdays also a bit difficult lah. That's just the expectation. Okay.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
on Sunday, what is the time? You ask me, right? I ask you back. What is an ideal time on Sunday then?
I don't know, cause we have like dinner until 7, and we have to
Same
like
thing.
check in earlier. Like, yeah.
So the dinner is just the same. You just have to arrive before dinner. You have to
They
check
want us
in
to
at.
sleep earlier. Something like that.
That's just the weirdest thing ever, right? Okay, but that's
Because
the
they
rule
think
lah.
we're tired. Yeah.
When is it exactly?
I think it's around 8:30.
But that means if we do tuition from 7 to 8:30, it's fine. No?
Maybe, yeah. But then like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Let's just try it, okay? Let's just see what happens. Maybe at 7:20, at 8:25, we'll just stop.
Okay.
Okay. For this Sunday, let's just see whether it can even happen or not. Right? Let's see.
Yeah.
Right? I want you to feel the routine of the school plus tuition for a few weeks and see whether it is too much or whether it is actually possible for you.
Is
Okay.
it possible to do it earlier actually? Because like I'm free
don't-
from like 5 to 6. What about 5 to 6? Yeah.
Okay. No, that's good. But just
On
to
Sundays,
confirm,
I think actually
when are you
Sundays.
arriving? No, when are you arriving? That's the
Oh
question.
yeah, that's
When are you
true.
arriving?
Oh yes, I don't think Sunday can because like the Singaporeans arrive late. Like this week I didn't arrive late because my mom sent me, but
Correct.
normally they arrive like after dinner, after like 7 or something.
Yo. So okay. What does that mean? You'll be riding a common bus. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know, it's just a bus. They make us sleep. Yeah.
So your mom will not send you lah. Is what you're
Yeah.
saying lah.
Yeah.
So your dinner, how late? That's very weird already. And how about your dinner?
I'm not sure. Might have to eat dinner later or like before.
Like you can eat dinner after 7, like they won't close the cafeteria or something. They won't let
I'm
you.
not sure.
I see what you. Okay, we'll see what happens this Sunday. But for the weekdays one, 7 to 8:30 lo. That's it lah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now for today, let's just call it a day. You do sound tired, but next week, let's do at least more than one tuition day. Let's at least try
Yeah.
2 or 3. Then you will have a better feeling. If it's not possible, you will at least know lah. But don't let it go, okay? Don't just let it go. Okay?
Okay.
Either I see you on Sunday, although very unlikely, or I see you on Monday like last. Okay? Okay? Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so Jason, you're looking at the other question.
Yeah.
Are you stuck?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back to the previous question first.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna on my video. Right. I'm gonna show you something. Right. Okay. After I show you something, I think I'm gonna ask you to do the same thing. Right. Okay. Now the good thing about Prism is visual. Yeah, okay. But the other good thing is that you can actually just make the prism in front of you. Okay, and that might help you. Maybe that's what you need right now. Okay, so I'm gonna get a paper because that's all we need. Just a minute. No, where's my paper? Paper, where are you? Right now, you should have this paper in front of you. Any kind of paper works. And in exam, you of course have a paper also, right?
Yep.
So let's pretend that this is in exam and you simply forget everything. Okay. Now, I'll show you that it's so easy to make a prism. This is the blanket area, the original blanket area before it becomes prism. Now I'm going to make a triangle prism, right, by doing this. I fold one, okay? I fold one, fold another one. Okay, it's not going to be perfect, but okay. And just like that, isn't this a triangle prism? Look at that. Correct?
Yeah.
I don't have to cut the triangle shape. I just make it like, right? So what is the volume? I hope that makes sense. The volume is this triangle, right? This is the cross-sectional area, right? It goes through everything. You see my face? It's all triangle from here to there, right? Triangle. So the volume is this area. You gotta imagine it, right? You gotta imagine there is a whole this triangle, then times this length, times that length. That's how volume works, right? The area times the length. Then go volume. Because I see that you are very hesitant when doing volume just now. But volume, logic, simple, area times this length. Area times this height. Your teacher will probably say that base area times height. A bad way of doing it, just say cross-sectional area times this length. Better. Okay? That's volume. Make sense or not?
Yeah, just a bit lost.
So if I change shape, let me try to make you unlost. Try to change shape. So you tell me what prism should I make right now?
Rectangle.
Rectangle cylinder. Can I make a rectangle cylinder, rectangle prism using this one? Of course I can.
Yep.
Add another folding. It's not the nicest prism, but there you go. Okay. You see? It's still the same thing. And let's change this to rectangle. Hey, what's the volume of this prism? Hey, same thing, brother. Same thing, brother. What is the volume? This area times this length. That's the volume. This area times this height. Same. This area times this length. Correct or not? Correct or not? Makes sense or not? Makes sense or not? Right?
Yeah.
If you hold this in your hand, it will make a lot of sense. I make a cylinder. Can I make a cylinder?
Yeah.
Yes. Finish what? Hey, what's the volume of this guy?
The
Same
surface
thing, right?
area.
You
Yeah,
know?
same.
Same thing, right? I'll make a heart prism. Hey, I love you, man. I'll make a heart prism. There you go. I heart you, Jason. What's the volume of my heart to you?
The surface area times
Times the
the
length.
height. Length.
Height, length, whatever. You get what I mean. That guy times that guy.
Yeah.
You go back to your triangular prism. It's not a real thing. I must admit, it makes it slightly more difficult. Even though you're an artist, maybe you have trouble imagining. I don't know. Okay. But that guy is a 3D thing, which you can hold in your arms like that.
Yeah.
Can you see in your mind the volume of that guy? The question. Can you? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you understand why I stopped sharing for a while? I stopped my video a while. You look at the Jamboard. Do you understand why it is the area of the triangle times 20 meter? That's the volume. No?
Yeah.
So you need to find the area of the triangle first, and then you times it with 20 meter, your volume is done. That's 2 marks. Are you still lost?
No.
Okay, now talk about the surface area. I promise you the question very easily will ask surface area. You look at the video one more time. Now, I make all my prism using this piece of rectangular paper,
Mm-hmm.
which represents the blanket of the prism. Here I have a triangle prism, right?
Yeah.
What did you do first? What you did first was 3 meter. There's your 3 meter, right? 3 meter.
Yeah.
Time plus 3 meter. There's another plus 3 meter.
Uh-huh.
And then plus 3.6. That's what you did.
Yeah.
3 plus 3.6 plus 3. And then you go and times 20. What is that? First thing first, do you understand that's not the volume?
Yeah.
That, however, is the blanket area, which is a simple rectangle. What did you do? Let's do one more time. What you did is, this is your tree. I'm sorry, this is your tree. This is 3.6. This is 3. There. And then times the 20.
Mm.
You're just calculating the blanket area, which is a rectangle. And
Yep.
therefore, it's very useful for surface area. What is the surface area of this thing? Blanket area? Is that it?
Yeah.
No. I mean, imagining that this is solid, sorry, because I couldn't make sound.
Yeah.
The blanket area, which is useful, plus triangle, plus another triangle. Correct or not?
Oh.
Surface area. Makes sense or not?
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. In front of you, this makes sense. If I make a rectangular prism, right?
Mm.
What's the surface area? But same thing, what? The blanket.
And
How
the
do I
two
calculate?
squares.
And the 2 squares. How do you calculate the blanket? This, perimeter, you get it?
Yeah.
Perimeter.
Yeah.
If I have a cylinder,
Same
what's the blanket
thing.
area? Perimeter, perimeter
Yeah.
times height, this one, plus the 2 circles. Plus the
Yeah.
2 circles. Okay, simple. Okay, get what I mean?
Yeah.
So do your surface area for the triangular prism first.
Okay.
Next time you're confused, I will ask you to take a paper and make it for yourself. That's just how is it? It
Okay.
just takes care of everything, right? Okay, you should do that. Why are you calculating the triangle area again? Nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But why do you do it? Remember, the cross-sectional area, the triangle, already exists in volume. That's why I tell you. Oh, the working is done. You understand? It's always done one. So once you do a volume, you already have something to use for the surface area. Don't repeat the word lah. Nice. And that's it. That's the surface area. Good for you. Understand?
Yep.
Yeah. Now let's go to the next question. It looks more complicated, but the principle is the same.
Okay.
Before we talk about the question at the bottom, this is a visual topic. First thing first, you are supposed to understand the shape in front of you, not even the English first. Actually, you should understand the shape first, roughly, and then read the English, see what it makes sense. If you read the English first, it's not the right way of thinking. Okay? So look at this shape first. Do you understand it roughly?
Yeah.
Is it a prism?
No.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Tell me, what do you see as a prism?
The cylinder.
The cylinder is a prism. Okay, one.
Yeah.
Then what about the rest? It's a combination of a prism, a cylinder, prism, and something else. What is that something else? Is that something else a prism?
No.
Which is where your visualization is not very good. A prism is supposed to have a cross-sectional area. A cross-sectional area is a fancier of saying the area stays the same. Look, the area stays the same. Look. Do you see that? You gotta see it, man. Do you see it? It's a very short prism. This is the cross-sectional area, stays the same along this line. Again, do you see it or not?
Kind of.
Okay. If you don't see it, well, I suppose the question usually tells you. Usually. Now read the English. The diagram below shows a cage for a pet hamster that comprises a trapezium-based prism.
Oh.
They actually tell you lah, but I'm training you to see it before they tell you. Don't rely on what they're telling you. It is supposed to be obvious with some training.
Yeah.
Huh? I tell you a lot of stuff lah, what AB parallel to DC lah, the length of this, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. In this kind of question, whatever they tell you is supposed to be in the drawing already. If they tell you that AB is 43 centimeter, actually it's in the drawing already. They tell you that angle ABC is 90 degree. Well, it is in the drawing. You know, although it doesn't look very 90 degree, but there you go. There's a symbol of 90 degree.
Yeah.
Okay. The English helps a little bit to say, oh, this is an open tunnel. Okay, the word open might be important. That means this is not a solid thing. Okay, that might help. Okay, the trapezium-based thingy kind of helps if we cannot see it properly. But again, I hope you can see this as a prism.
Yeah.
And yeah? Okay, blah, 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 yada, yada, then take pi in this. Hey, what will they ask? Look, it's so predictable. They ask volume and surface area one. And then this A, why is this for 1 mark? Is show the radius of the cylinder tunnel is approximately 10 centimeter. Let's say you don't understand what is A. Frankly speaking, doesn't matter, it's 1 mark. A tells you that the radius is 10 centimeter. He's being very kind. Even if you cannot do A, you have something out of A. The radius of the cylindrical tunnel is 10 centimeters. And that is something you can use for the volume and the surface area. Correct or not?
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense. For 3 marks, can you do 3 marks and 4 marks? Let's forget about the 1 mark. Okay. Give it a try.
For B, it's like everything, right? Total volume of everything.
It depends on how you imagine the cage. I mean, of course, I know the answer, but what do you think? If they ask you the volume of the cage, does it include everything? You got to think
No.
about it a little bit. Then what does it include according to you?
The trapezium.
Prism, okay, that is definitely included,
Yep.
but something is not included.
The
What is it?
tunnel.
All right. Now, I mean, it makes sense. What? Wait,
Yeah.
the tunnel is not the cage, that kind of thing. However, this one should be settled by the English. So the English say something like this, right? So the diagram below shows a cage, right? The cage that comprises the trapezium prism and the tunnel. So the English defines the cage as the trapezium prism and the tunnel.
Oh.
So even though we should think for ourselves, right? A cage doesn't include the tunnel, what? But the question defines the cage as the tunnel also. Make sense? So we
Mm-hmm.
just follow lah. We just follow the question is better that way. One more time, even though you are supposed to think for yourself, don't forget to check with the English part.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So now, how do you do the volume of the cage for 3 marks? Okay, so what you did seems to be to calculate the air the volume of the tunnel, is it? Is it
Yeah.
something like that? Okay, the volume of tunnel. Okay, good. Um, are you stuck or can you continue?
It's stuck.
Right. So whenever you're stuck, it must be because of what they call the basic shapes. Might not sound too basic for us. For example, they will think, hey, trapezium basic what? You should know what.
Yeah.
Something like that. Oh, but I'm sorry, I forget. Right. So I think that's the last teaching for me today. I'm going to teach you not to memorize trapezium. So the moment they teach trapezium, your teacher will probably quote a formula, right? And then you'll forget about it and then remember it at exam again, right? I'll try my best to make it understandable. Okay. Now draw a trapezium for us, please.
Trapezium.
Yeah. What the heck is that? Okay, that is definitely not a trapezium. Try again. Looks better. Right. Okay. Now let me confirm a few things. Are these two lines parallel? Because the other one definitely not.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you intend this to be 90 degree? Is that your intention or that's just accident?
No.
All right. Okay. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be, but this is one type of trapezium, right? So I'm gonna put it upright a bit. Okay, like that. So I just put your trapezium upright, and just so happens it's a 90-degree trapezium. It doesn't have to be that. Now I'll draw two more variation of trapeziums, right? They are all called trapeziums. This one, the second one, does not have any 90 degree, and it is still called trapezium. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No need to take it. Yeah. And then the other one, also called a trapezium. The weirdest one, like that. This one is slightly shorter. This one's slightly longer. Something like that. It almost looks like a parallelogram, but it's not. That's also a trapezium, right? That's the weirdest one, right? Now, the nice thing about the 90-degree one is because we have the height. The height will be useful. The other two, you gotta figure out the height also. You also gotta figure out the height, something like that. Okay, so the other two makes it slightly harder anyway, but I think it's their job to give you, right? So even though they give you this weird trapezium, they still must give you the height. Now, time to talk about the formula of the trapezium. The formula of trapezium is actually something very easy to understand. Yeah? Sorry, just a minute. Okay, there you go. Now, isn't the area of a rectangle very easy?
Yeah.
Area of rectangle is just like that. Now I draw a very particular rectangle. I draw a very particular rectangle. The rectangle I draw, you notice, have the same height as a trapezium, but the width is very specific.
Yeah.
The width is in the middle of the shorter guy and the longer guy.
Yeah.
It is in the middle. Now, my question is this to you, yeah? Use your logic, your visual logic. Is the area of this rectangle the same as the area of the trapezium?
Yeah.
Why is it the same? You tell me. It's okay. Just leave it. Yeah.
Because the top right fits with the small triangle.
This triangle fits there.
Yeah.
Something like that. Right. So therefore, this I guarantee you, the formula they give you is just the formula for this very special rectangle. The rectangle which is in the middle of the short and the long. So far, so good? Because it makes sense, right? And this will always work. So I'll show you with the two other weird one. The two other weird one also have a short and a long. That's just the nature of trapezium, isn't it? Short and long. Hey, where's the special rectangle? Very simple there. I take the middle one. And then suddenly I have that special rectangle. That's the mid.
Yeah.
Right? The triangle fits like that. Okay, it'll work the same with the super weird trapezium here. It'll work exactly in the same manner.
Yep.
So far, so good. Okay,
Yep.
now, what does a formula say? Okay, the formula say, formula I'll show you later. So how do you calculate this mid length? This mid length is not the short length and it's not the long length. So how do you calculate the mid guy?
Uh, find the area of the triangle.
To calculate the area of the triangle, you need the mid length. Then, no. How do you find the mid length? Okay. Let me show you this way. Let me show you. Again, I'm activating your logic here, no memorization. So give me a random number for the short one. The random number for the short
5.
is, okay, let's say 5. Okay. Random number for the long is,
10.
okay, let's say 10. Tell me, what's the mid length? Pure logic.
7.5.
Which is exactly in the middle of 5 and 10,
Oh, okay.
which will cause this triangle to fit here. If it is not in the middle, one of them will be smaller, right? If you
Yep.
want it to fit in the middle, I mean, you better choose a midpoint, right? Which is 7.5. How do you get 7.5? I mean, people do it differently, but you can say 5 plus 10 divided by 2. You can say that.
Yep.
Which is to say the average of 5 and 10, right? That's the concept, man. What's the average of 5 and 10? That's one way to do it. 7.5 lah. Okay, which is 5 plus 10 divided by 2. Or some people say, take the difference between 10 and 5. So 10 minus 5 divided by 2, add it back to 5. I mean, that's a longer way lah. But
Yeah.
whatever you do, you can do whatever you want as long as it's correct.
Yep.
Okay. Now, do you know how the formal formula for trapezium looks like? The formal formula for area of trapezium looks like this. Area of trapezium, it look like S plus L divided by 2. I'm sorry. It looks like this. Half S plus L times the height. Look at that. Why would the formula be like this? Because half S plus L simply means the average of S and L, the medium.
Oh.
So the formula actually acknowledges this logic. The formula is just the formula of a special rectangle. From now on, you have many options. You can memorize this formula and then try to check it using your logic. You can use your logic entirely. That's preferable. You can do whatever you want, but one thing for sure, you shall never be afraid of a trapezium anymore.
Yeah.
Even if you forget the formula, you still have your logic to rely upon. I think that's better lah. I think that's a better result of learning math. Or you have a stronger logic, something like that. Okay. Now, look at this trapezium. This trapezium is made difficult because it's a 3D drawing.
Yep.
3D drawing is just harder to imagine than 2D drawing. That's part of the challenge. That's why some people hate this question. It is a 3D drawing. It confuses the heck of some people. I can't blame them. Okay, 3D is not fun one. How are we supposed to imagine that it's 90 degree?
Yeah.
I can't imagine that it's 90 degree. Don't ask me to imagine that. It's very confusing. I won't blame them. I still feel confused right now. Okay? But you're an artist, so I was hoping that you are less confused. Your brother does DNT. His DNT is very good. I was hoping that also he won't find this too confusing. The point is, this is a very visual thing. Now, long story short, do you think you can calculate the area of trapezium or not? That's the hardest thing here.
Right there.
Okay.
Should be like.
Okay. If you cannot, I want you to draw the trapezium 2D just to make sure. Okay. If you find yourself to be confused, because the 3D drawing is not nice.
Should be was it?
You're gonna do this yourself, yeah?
Can I do it at like frame 8?
Sure, sure. You can. Yeah, of course you can. You make yourself more space. Sorry, I didn't notice that you stopped. Oh dear. Right. Again, draw the trapezium, please. Draw the trapezium and tell me which one's 43, which one's 50, 25, and all that. Okay, let's say the trapezium looks like that, sure. Okay, and then which one's 43, which one's 50, and da, da, da. Okay, looks about right, and then
Uh,
Jason, do you think you're right?
no, because I have 2 right angles and it only has 1 in the diagram.
Sorry, what do you mean? Okay, which one is the right angle? Which one's the right angle, you think? Okay, yeah, I can accept that. Now let's read the question. Let's read the question. The question says AB parallel to DC. Okay, AB parallel to DC. So you go ahead and put the arrow for the parallel because that will help. Because remember, trapeziums do have parallel sides. That's very important. So please arrow it, the 2 parallels. Okay, now you're saying that this 90 degree or not? Sorry. Your question is this 90 degree or not? Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, because you think it should be 90 degree, right? You think it should be 90 degree. Now use your angle knowledge, look, the one that just passed, right? If you have this, this, and that, this is 90 degrees, so what will this be?
90 degrees.
And you are very certain about this or not?
Quite certain.
And you will be correct. You will be correct. Okay.
Mm.
Now, back to the original question. Are you certain your trapezium is drawn correctly here?
Uh, oh, what did you say again?
Are you certain your trapezium is correctly drawn here?
No,
And why are you not certain?
because I have two right angles and the diagram has only one. If that makes
Same problem.
sense.
Same problem, right? This yellow thingy, right? This
Uh-huh.
yellow thingy. Which is supposed to be this guy, correct?
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like 90 degree, correct or not?
Yeah.
But according to your angle knowledge, if this is 90 degree, and these two are parallel, right? The two parallel one
Oh,
are
right.
what so this will be 90 degree regardless of what the question says. At least the question doesn't say it is not 90 degree lah, at least.
Mhm.
So you are free to think that that's 90 degree as long as you have some reason to back it up. That's how logic works, right? Do you have a reason to back it up? That's 90 degree?
Uh, yeah.
Yeah, the parallel thingy lah,
Yeah.
from your angle knowledge. So you have a reason. Maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong, but notice that you at least have a reason, and that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you live with that?
Yeah.
So now, do you reasonably think that your trapezium is correct?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then we can continue from there, lah, right?
Yeah.
Continue from there. So, is your math correct now? You have done all the visual thing. Is your area calculation correct? If you don't get what I'm saying, then I'm asking you to draw the special rectangle first. Please
Should
draw
be
the special
correct.
rectangle. Okay, and bad news, you're wrong. But don't stop here. I'm asking you to draw the special rectangle.
Okay.
Okay, on top of the trapezium, of course. Okay, start from there, sure. Okay, the rectangle will extend to the middle, you're correct. Okay, and I agree with your special rectangle. Definitely that's the correct one.
Mm.
Does your calculation reflects that?
Oh.
Look at your calculation. The half 25 plus 24. The half represents the average, right? Who are you supposed to average here? The mid is the average
The
of who,
43 and 50.
which you did not average.
Yeah.
Instead, you average
the wrong one.
24
Yeah.
and 25, which I think it's influenced by the picture, right? So
Yeah.
you average the wrong thing, and then you're supposed to times the height of the rectangle. Did you times the right thing?
No, should be
No.
50.
Why would you times 50? Average the correct thing first, like, come on. Okay. Fix the average first.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So I agree with your average, okay? Whatever that is, that must be correct. Now you say times 43 is wrong lah, and I agree with you. It shouldn't be times 43. Now, the rectangle, look at the rectangle. Okay, you already get the mid, the half, 43 plus 50. Then you're supposed to times what? Look at the special rectangle.
Times the mid length height.
Okay, what is it?
199. Wait. $46.5.
Yeah, that's the mid, right? The mid
Yeah.
is 46.5. Okay, so 46.5 times what?
46.5 times 24.
Yes. I was waiting for you to say 24. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do that, you get the rectangle. Now you get the area of the trapezium already.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Do you think you understand what's going on?
yeah.
You haven't have the volume, okay, not yet, but you already have the volume of the cylinder. You now have the area of the trapezium. The volume of the prism should be easy, and then you should be able to finish it. Time is up, but this is the taste of this particular topic. Okay, we'll continue next time, okay?
All right.
All right, I'll see you Thursday. Bye.
Bye.